Welcome to our YouTube channel, Moneyline with Nancy TV. This is where you get the latest updates on business, finance, economy, market, as well as investment information. If you couldn't follow us live on television, please do subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, press the notification bell so that you can get notifications. Thank you. Enjoy this video. All right, welcome back to the program. My guest is joining me right now, Mr. Oluropo Dada. He is the president of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers. Mr. Dada, good morning. A happy Monday and welcome. Mr. Dada,
I can hear you.
Yes, now I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning, Nancy. Thank you for having me. Good morning, Nigeria. Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. Now, let's get started. Let me start by asking this question. Are retail investors back to the market? Because you know what happened in the year 2008, 2009. A lot of people were burnt. In fact, I was speaking to a woman last week. She called me, someone that I know. She, middle-aged, not middle-aged, she should be in her 50s. And she told me she has some money. I should advise her on what to do. I'm not a financial advisor, as it were. I'm not a stockbroker. But because of the experience I have doing the show over time, and when I mentioned even stocks, I was giving her, some areas of investment, educating her. What she told me? She said, I don't want to go near stocks. So no. And I see a lot of that. So are retail investors back to the market? That apathy, is it still there?
Thank you. Let me just start from the basis. Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers is a product of Act 105, 1992, Law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And our main objective is to determine skills, expertise, knowledge, standard required to practice security dealings in Nigeria. Thank you. Let me just go back to your question. Yes, retail investors are back in Nigeria. You will see that over the year, we have improved in risk management framework governance. And again, technology has been used to drive retail investments. They are back. Last year, I can confirm that the market attracted close to 50% retail investors in the market. So I can confirm that without any doubt that retail investors are back, and there's no fear again. Thank you.
So what will you advise that woman that called me? That woman that called me that I told you about now. What will you advise her?
This is what I would say. Number one, the starting point is to have a stockbroker. That is the beginning. You need to appoint a stockbroker, and you need to today go to your stockbroker. The stockbroker will guide you, will advise you, will analyze the market for you, and he will give you direction you will go to. That is number one. Number two, I will advise that for you to be in the market today, you must have long-term focus. That is the major difference between money market and capital market. Money market is a market for short-term fund, while that of capital market is for long-term fund investment. And again, Warren Buffett said that if you cannot stay in the market for at least 7 years, you do not have any business being in capital market. So that is number two. You must have long-term focus. And number three, you must be ready to diversify. In the market, in stock market itself, there is diversification. Diversification will allow you to mitigate various risks. In other words, you can go into oil and gas, industrial goods, banking sector, and other sectors there, so that you don't concentrate all your portfolio in one particular sector. I think that is what I will advise for now.
Okay, let me reframe the question. Are young investors in the market? Nigeria is a country of young population. 65% of our population below around 18 years, below to 18 years, So a young population in the market.
Okay, let me just, I would say no for now. And let me just analyze that. Yeah, truly, the population of Nigeria is about 240 and 70% are youth. And again, the mean age of investor in the market today is 53 years old, meaning that the youth have not really embraced the market. So that is, but we are trying, if you can see, the SEC, the regulator, is trying to, as it is today, to license cryptocurrency security exchanges to attract the youth. We feel that with technologies and with cryptocurrency exchanges, the youth will be back to the market. But as we speak now, they are not in the market.
Okay, let's take a look at the market as it is. I think since 2020, the market has been on trajectory of growth, I would say, posting over 35%, growth rates, at least averagely, let me put it that way, because I think in 2020 it posted about 40% or thereabout. Last year to 37%. So if you take a look at the market, what are the sectors and what are the key things that are making the market grow? That is one. Then number two, how can people listening to us now take advantage of that growth in the market? And perhaps you can actually also speak about sectors that are driving the growth.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, as it is today, definitely there is no doubt that the market will go up. Last year, as rightly said by you, the market closed at 38% returns, and the all share index, that is the index that tracks the investments in the market, returned 38%, and that makes our market one of the top 10 markets in the whole world and second in Africa. Having said that, the market fundamental now is very solid. What I mean by fundamental is liquidity. So the market is quite liquid. Number two, there is complementary relationship between stock market and capital market now. It appears we have come to define investors that will be in capital markets. In those days, whenever there's an increase in MPR, many people will exit the market to money market, but that is not the case again. And number four, you can see that the regulators, SECs, and other security exchanges, they are making effort to improve on their services. They deploy technologies to attract retail investors and other investors. That is that. And number five, if I would tell you that the capitalization exercise of the banks has attracted so many investors in the bank. As you can see, that the CBN, going by the CBN regulatory capital, they are saying that retained earnings is not going to be considered in computing shareholder fund. What that means is that retained earnings will be used to pay dividend. So many investors will be expecting high dividend this year. And apart from that, most of the shares in the market, the stocks in the market, in dollar terms, are penny stocks. They are penny stocks. And what we are saying is that they have not been adjusted for inflation and devaluation. So we expect this year that most of these instrumental stocks will be the value will be adjusted for depreciations, for devaluations, and for inflation. So in other words, we expect the prices to go up. The sector that one should go to, the first one I recommend is banking sector, and the issue is very clear. We are expecting that a good dividend will come by April. As it is, some of the big lenders declare 1 trillion naira profits in Q3. So we feel that this will transform into good dividends by April when they have been announced. That is number one. And number two, I've said earlier that most of these stocks, they are penny stocks. They have not been adjusted for devaluations. They have not been adjusted for inflation. So we expect them to go up. And again, telecom, on the back of increase in tariff, the prices are expected to go up too. So we feel that that will drive growth in that sector. And again, the oil and gas, the $10 billion investment of ExxonMobil in Nigeria will also drive growth in that sector. I think that's my comment.
So you've given our viewers now banks, telcos, and oil and gas companies, as it were, because there are significant news around these sectors. The banks recap plans, the telcos, the tariff increase, which would by perhaps even there will be an increase in top line and bottom line for them, while they're also adjusting for infrastructure as well as even, service quality needs for customers. Then thirdly, the telcos too, the oil and gas companies, the news that you have spoken about. How about other sectors in the market? Because if we take a look at even these three sectors, apart from these three sectors, we are looking at also the consumer goods there that also have a very large market share. What other sectors can one look at? Because even these three sectors you mentioned, these three sectors are not really penny stocks, as it were. They are not really penny stocks. Their stocks are not trading within the 5 naira range or thereabouts.
Okay, in terms of dollar, they are penny stocks.
Okay,
let me just
but we don't use dollars here now. Yes, can you hear me? We don't use dollar, is not our currency. I know you are trying to peg it against the dollar.
Yes. So insurance company too, there are areas that one can look at on the back of the recapitalization exercise that has brought confidence to that sector. And you also mentioned consumer goods. Those are the other areas to look at. I think there are many factors to drive growth in those sectors.
Okay, let's talk about inflation. You mentioned earlier that NPR decisions by the MPC, slightly have an effect on the market. I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty with you this morning, but let's take a look at inflation-proof investments this year. Last year, Nigeria's inflation averaged about 32 to 33%. We closed the year at a 34% rate for our CPI. How do I invest in the capital market this year? Inflation-proofing my investments.
Okay. I think the number one that readily comes to my mind is stocks. Last year, the market closed at 38% return, outperforming inflation of 34.8%. So this year is being emphasized that the history will repeat itself and the market will close at between 38 and 40%. That is number one. And again, too, we expect inflation this year to moderate to maybe around 23%, even though the budget said 15%. That is too ambitious. We never believed that the inflation can come to 15%. But having said that, the opinion is that if inflation can be reduced, inflation rate can be reduced to 23%. That means the interest rates will be between maybe 2022 for us to have positive interest rate. So that is to say that certainly market will outperform inflation this year. And I can tell you that 38% of 39 and 40% I quoted is not misplaced. Number two, we should be looking at the mutual fund that diversifies your investment. We should be looking at dollar-denominated bond, euro bond, diaspora bond, and others. And possibly we look at the real estate. Real estate too can be good. It can be used serve as edge against inflations and many others. Those are the ones I can mention for now.
Now, Mr. Dada, what is the role of stockbrokers in all of this, ensuring that the market grows? In terms of education, enlightenment, in terms of even deepening the market. You are the president of Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, the 13th one at that. what actually is your vision even for this your tenure? How do you know, beyond wearing your maroon jacket, because you know, I remember those days when we were at the stock exchange, the maroon is it jacket now, you know, that you wear. You are the president of this group of people. What are you people doing to be able to foster and deepen the market? That is one. Then number two is technology has taken over. You know, how do you get even younger stockbrokers into your fold? Then number three, how do you ensure that technology drives the market? A lot of people now, even on their phones, you go on online platforms, online trading platforms, they can buy and sell stocks, not only Nigerian stocks, but even foreign owned companies.
Okay, let me just quickly go to your question number one. You asked for the role of stockbrokers. Stockbroker play intermediation roles, that is between buyers and sellers of securities, number one, that is in secondary market, and between issuers and security exchanges in the primary market. That is number one. That's number two. Let me just explain number one, that if you, by law, Act 105 and 1992, and by SEC law, we are the only institutions that can buy and sell on behalf of our clients at all the security exchanges in Nigeria. What I mean by that is that if you want to buy any shares, you need a stockbroker. You have to contact a stockbroker who will do the bill on your behalf. That is one. Number two, we intermediation role two between issuers of securities and security exchanges. It is the stockbroker that will supply applications to all security exchanges relating to issuance of capital. You can recall that last year in primary markets, over 2 trillion naira was raised. That is on the back of the banking recapitalization exercise. So these are the roles we are doing, and on the public literacy programs, that is, we are trying on our own, that is to bring security investment to all the tertiary institutions in Nigeria. As we speak, we have a MOU with many universities in Nigeria so that they can start awarding degrees in securities and investment. And we have been engaging stakeholders on the importance of securities in Nigeria. And let me, on the side of the federal government, it will appear as if we are the mouthpiece of the government on this $1 trillion economy. We have been the one telling the whole world that it is these markets that government can raise the $1 trillion economy. Having said that, we realize that in other markets, for instance, in South African markets, we realize that market cap is a multiple of GDP. But unfortunately in Nigeria, market cap is a fraction of GDP. And when you look at the populations of South Africa relative to Nigeria, it is like maybe 40% of Nigeria population, a quarter of Nigeria population. South Africa is just about 60 million people, while we are 240 million people. So we are saying that the potentials of the market has not really been harnessed, that we are there and we've not been able to get to where we want to get to. On the issue of technology, I want to tell you that as you are speaking now, maybe if you raise your phone, you can be trading. You can be buying and be selling. The only thing is that it's going to settle with a stockbroker. So that is number one. You can do that free as it is today. Number two, all the e-offering, we have e-offering platforms. So you do not have to go to anywhere before you buy shares. Just access the platform, feed your form, submit your application, pay your money, and if the allotment is successful, you will get it. This is technology that we are deploying. And on the youth, we have established it that population of Nigeria is 70% youth. And for you to attract the youth, then you must embrace technology. I have said that a digital platform and digital assets, cryptocurrencies, are being introduced into the economy just because of the youth. And again, too, we are doing everything that is within our means, even as an institute, that is to reduce the average age of stockbrokers by attracting youth into the profession.
What is the average age now? How old can you be?
54.
54. That's not young now. That is not young. 54 is not young. I was expecting you, if you have smart people.
They have told you the average investor, the mean age of an investor too is 53.
Yes, but that does not mean our stockbrokers average should be 54 now. You should bring in young people.
As it is, we are working on it. We are attracting the youth. I want to tell you that very soon it will come down.
Please work on it very well. I'm not happy to even hear this. I'm 54. That means me, I cannot even be part of it because I'm not up to 54. At least, but because young people, I can't be part of it, but at least average age should be younger than that. Okay, as we close, just in a minute, can you speak to me about regulation?
Sorry, I think you understand me. I said the mean age of
Yes, I understand. That's what I actually mentioned earlier, that you can admit my age, but you're saying that the median age of the profession. I understand you. That's what you mean.
Okay.
Yes.
So
okay.
In other words, you are welcome if you want to be our members.
Okay, so let's take a quick look at regulation. How has regulation been for the market? Because there was a time that it was said that the market was being over-regulated, that you guys are being over-regulated. And speak to me about that and your relationship, CIS relationship with the Securities and Exchange Commission, as well as the NGS itself, very quickly in a minute.
Okay. I think CIS relationship with SEC is very cordial. SEC does not regulate CIS, but it regulates all the members of CIS. CIS on its own is a product of Act 105 of 1992, Law of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So we have our own council, like our own board. So we are not being regulated by SEC. But all the members, CIS are regulated by SEC. We have very cordial relationship. That is that. The essence of regulation as it is to create orderliness, transparency, fair play in the market. That has been. So we want a regulation that is all-inclusive, the one that will try to make people to avoid sanctions instead of issuing sanctions to people. So that is that. The regulation that is technology driven, and that is what they are promoting at SEC today. I can tell you that is what they are doing in SEC.
Okay,
so
Mr.
by
Dada.
and large,
yeah, Mr. Dada, I think we have to leave it at this point now. We've got to go. Thank you very much for joining us, and I hope to speak with you again soon.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I'll be speaking with Oluropo Dada, who is the president of the Chartered Institute of Stockbrokers, and we'll be looking at wealth creation through the Nigerian capital market. So take what you can take from the interview and do as needed. All right, just before we go, let's announce, of course, our business clinic again coming up this Friday. My team just told me a lot of calls, but all you need to do is to just send "I'm interested" to our WhatsApp line, and they will communicate with you. That's the much we can take on today's edition of the program. Thank you all for being a part of the show today. Please join me again, same time on this station. I am Nancy Naji. Be the best you can be, and be the change that you want to see. Thank you for watching. In case this is your first time watching us, thank you. Don't subscribe to the channel, drop your comments as well as like, and most of all, share our content.